7:13. It's the morning news on a Friday, baby. Yeah, you made it. Hey, I'm Lance Tormey.
Hey, here. Thanks for being here. It's 7 o'clock hour, and we're going to start right in with our city council candidate interviews. Sort of
That's right.
A double-decker, if you will, this morning.
Yeah, that's right. We've got candidates in from District 3 and District 5. From District 3, we have Justin Cawley. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning.
And from District 5, we have Gordon Heintzman. Good morning, Gordon.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little odd, but we should let the listeners know that you guys wanted to do this. You're of like mind, right? And you thought you'd share the time, and because you kind of feel the same way about a lot of the same issues. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. We do have differences about us, but we've known each other since the 6th grade. We grew up here in Yakima. We met each other at Franklin.
All right.
I actually remember the day I was a little bit jealous because he showed up, new kid at school, and all the girls liked him more than the rest of us.
Well, let's hope that, that all works out in the end here. Yeah, well, let's just start out with Justin. Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll have the same questions for you, Gordon. Gordon, we like that radio voice of his. He's got that low radio. Wow. Anyway, Justin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Lance, later on, when his voice changed, all the girls like Gordon man because of the voice. So he gets his revenge.
That's right.
Go ahead, Justin. What we want to know is family, work, all the usual stuff about you that would give us an idea of who you are.
Well, I'm single. Obviously, I have a cousin here in Yakima. That's our mayor, Micah Cawley. And
thought I recognized that last name there. All right.
Yeah, you probably heard it before.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just a citizen of Yakima looking to make things better and take part in this event.
Obviously from the Yakima Valley.
Yes.
Are you married?
Not married, no.
Your family obviously still living here, always has been here? Yeah. Right.
Yes, mother and father, yes.
Excellent. Gordon, tell us about yourself. Time in the valley, work, what do you do, family, stuff like that?
Well, I grew up here in the valley. Used to work in the service industry restaurants. My family owned a restaurant out in Natchez for a number of years, Casper's. Grew up out there, learned how to make their prime rib, still can. After that, I went and got into cooking quite a bit, went culinary school, then I moved around the Northwest here. Was the kitchen manager at the Speakeasy a number of years ago, back in 2004. And then I joined the Army, and I spent 8 years in the Army as a cavalry scout in a striker brigade. Toured the world a little bit and got some experience, and then now I'm back here, and my long-term goals is I want to get a degree as a history teacher. Because I feel history is important, but right now I see with the situation in City Council being tossed up and the ACLU decision, it just feels like the time to step up to a plate and offer my services.
Thank you for your service, Gordon.
Well, the next question, guys, has to do with the nature of the job itself. And again, I sometimes question whether this is for me or for everybody else, but I think it helps to clarify in people's minds their understanding of the nature of the job. When I went in, I wasn't exactly sure what the job was going to entail. And you do learn what you can and you can't do, but it helps if you have a good idea going in. So, question for both of you. Justin, we'll start with you. What is your understanding of the job of a council person? What is the job? What are they getting elected to do?
Okay. Well, obviously there would be more than what I'm about to state, but basically I would express the needs of my district to the rest of the city council, and we would make a educated decision and bring it on to the city manager to take care of it for us.
Okay. Same question for you, Gordon.
I think that we're supposed to address the needs of our district as they're brought up to us by the members of our district. I also believe that our job is to legislate in the interest of public safety and to just make sure everybody's working on the same page and to ensure that the executive officer is doing his job and executing what he needs to do, and make sure we're getting reports back and just make sure that the accountability is there to the people.
Gentlemen, did you guys know you were each, did you just kind of decide at the same time that you were running, or did one of you guys surprise each other?
Well,
We've been talking about it for a number of years.
Yeah, we've kind of seen problems that have been going on with the city and just noticed things that we would like to change. And when our opportunity came up for it, I'd been hounding him to jump on there for so long because he has a strong opinion on things.
Yeah.
And it's the only way to really change anything. So.
And it's actually banned for a little bit from calling you guys and Mike Baskinelli's show in the afternoons because I was calling too often.
Oh, no. Well, Justin, tell us a little bit more, I guess, than why you're running. Why are you running?
Well, just to make Yakima better. It just seems like there's not a focus on the actual citizens here, more of like the upscale and the development of Yakima. It doesn't have the day-to-day runnings doesn't seem to fit for the average working citizen.
Gordon, same question for you. Why did you choose to run for the city council at this time?
Well, a lot of the same reasons. It's and I'm not trying to call anybody out personally, but a lot of times it seems as if we're trying to ignore the needs of the people already present so we could attract future people. And to me, it kind of feels like asking my kids to go without a meal here and there so that I can adopt another child when I need to take care of the one I've got now.
Okay. Dave.
Thanks, guys. Our next question has to do with skills and abilities. Obviously, you don't have to be an expert at wastewater in order to get a job on council or anything like that. But there are some things that might serve you as you cooperate and work and get along with the people around you and all. So, Justin, if you look at your skill set, what do you think your particular skills and abilities are that would make you an effective council person? And the same question for Gordon after that.
Well, I work well with people, and I'm pretty level-headed, so it just seems like it'd be a good fit to get in there and try to make a positive difference.
Gotcha. Gordon?
Well, I'm well-read. I enjoy history. I've enjoyed news, politics, local and national, since I was a young child. And I think that my openness to discuss a topic with somebody, whether or not they agree with me, and my ability to hear what someone else is saying, even if I don't agree with it, and process it and come back to it later, gives me a unique ability to make a decision for the better choice.
That's a really important skill because you're going to be with 6 other opinions, and you got to be able to run them through the blender and come out with the right smoothie when you're done, So.
Well, and if it comes down to my entire district has one opinion and I've got another opinion, I've got to go back and reevaluate why I have that opinion and probably make a decision in favor of my district for what they want, because I'm not there to represent me. I'm there for them.
Gordon, well, I guess we're all Yakimanians here, aren't we? I mean, for the most part, we were all from Yakima, except for Dave when he was born somewhere else. Man, you've been here for a lot of years. Well, what's the best thing, Gordon, about Yakima, in your opinion?
I'd have to say one of the best things is the agriculture. When I was in the military, that's one of the things that I really came to appreciate is fresh fruit.
I bet.
And no matter where I was in the world, I got to the point where I just didn't even waste my time unless I saw that Made in Washington sticker on an apple.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Same for you, Justin.
Well, I agree with Gordon. We have a pretty good agricultural community here. Should be able to see us through even in the worst of times. Yakima will always have something to offer. And we also, since we're located for our hunting and our fishing, we're pretty well set for that as well.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest. On the other side of the coin, Gordon, what's the biggest challenge, do you believe, that Yakima faces right now?
Well, one of the biggest challenges I feel is the drug abuse, and it's more specifically methamphetamine. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody here in Yakima that hasn't been touched by it, either by having a family member who's gotten involved in that stuff, or having your house or car broken into by somebody that's using it, trying to get money to buy some more. And I think that's one of the big issues we have here, especially when you see everybody come out after midnight if you're out and about. I used to be a night security guard, and there's some very interesting looking people that walk around at 2 and 3 in the morning.
Right along those lines, a number of things are in place and already in motion, so let's get your take on these things. Dave can help us out here. I guess, while we're talking about drugs and methamphetamine, how do you feel about the recreational ban on marijuana? We'll start with you, Gordon.
Well, I feel that it's no issue to ban it or not ban it. I do, however, think that it should be given an advisory vote, binding advisory vote, to make sure the citizens are on the same page. And I think that would stop us from having a lot of these issues where the business of the city council is derailed trying to settle issues that are probably already settled in the minds of most of the people in town. They know if they want it or if they don't want it, if the tax dollars are worth it or not. And one of the points to point out is Union Gap's only getting about $9,000. It's not the millions of dollars they thought, because most of that goes to the state. I think that we've got enough information out now where we could see how it's worked in other cities, and if we did put it to an advisory vote, I think the people would make the right decision.
Justin.
I would have to agree with Gordon on that one. It was spot on.
All right, gentlemen. The plaza has certainly gotten a lot of attention over the last couple of years. There was a lengthy, elaborate, and public process to get us to where we are, and since that point, the people in favor have been more quiet, and the people who have been opponents who weren't there at the beginning have certainly showed up ever since. I, to be honest with you, couldn't tell you exactly what the split is in our city on the plaza, but it is a bone to chew. And so, Justin, what's your take on the plaza?
I'm not against the plaza. I'm all for the development of downtown Yakima. I don't necessarily think that we need a plaza in that direct spot. I think it could be suited in a different location, and we don't need to give up all of our parking down there. I know there's been other talk of different plans to reimburse parking down there after the plaza's been put in, but that's a lot of parking spaces in that one square, and I've never been down there to where it's not nearly full, if not overpacked. So I really don't think we can lose that many parking spots in that particular spot. It's a pretty prime location. A couple blocks away would be suited even better.
Okay. Gordon, how about you?
I kind of agree with him on that. I think that, again, we need look back, and we had a advisory vote that was put on the table, and that was turned down because it might cost $20,000 to do a non-binding vote. We've gone well beyond that point, spent much more money trying to convince people this is a good idea. I think if we go back through and do it, we could go either way. We could still continue with it if that's what the people want, and we could address the parking a number of ways, like putting satellite parking on the outskirts of town and allow park and ride shares, bring them downtown, and that sort of thing. Or we could choose another location. I think that one of the other candidates brought up a good point when they said that the location it is right down in the middle of the bar scene. And that might be a consideration that people aren't really considering, the PG versus adult rating of a scene downtown there. And then another concern is just the parking. Now, especially with all the other projects that are on slate for the bike lanes down Yakima Avenue and other things like that, I think sometimes we could get a little ahead of ourselves. And I do like the idea that if we could just block off that parking lot while we're debating this stuff, we could all easily see it with the use of jersey barriers. And if we do need the parking, we remove the jersey barriers. If we can find means to make up for that lost parking, it should be obvious and there should not be an issue.
Public art. Gentlemen, how do you feel about public art? We've got a number of public art pieces around Yakima, downtown. How do you guys feel? Start with you, Gordon.
Well, I think anytime the public is spending money on art, it really gets iffy, because who's to say what art is? There's a big debate over that Pope Benedict picture that they've got over in Wisconsin made with prophylactics, and some people see that as art. I personally don't see it as art, and I'm not Catholic, but it's just purposely offensive. And so it really depends on that, and I don't think that we need to be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a piece of art. Now, if somebody wants to donate art, which is the way it used to be, an artist would donate his piece of work to get his name out there and to give a service to the city, I don't see any problem with that. But I don't agree with spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for giant granite pencil shavings.
Justin, your thoughts on pencil shavings and more?
Well, I do like art. I think Yakima does have to have an art section definitely to it and have an appeal for it. I don't think that we should be searching out of town as much as we do for artists. There's plenty of local artists here in town that we could be getting our art from. That would both stimulate our economy here and, bring in some art that we have to show for our Yakima Valley. So.
Guys, what about the city's role in economic development? There's just as Gordon has suggested that public art is good on display, but maybe not best suited for, expenditure of public money to get there. What is the city's role, or should it be, do you think, in terms of being involved in economic development?
So bringing money in?
Bringing businesses in, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Gordon and I we were actually talking about this topic yesterday. We have quite a few hotels in town. We have a lot of things that to spend money on here in Yakima, but there's not a whole lot that brings money in. No plants or anything that manufactures anything or anything like that. It's kind of ironic because we were just talking on that subject yesterday.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tourism business here, a lot of wine tours, a lot of service industry, restaurants, that sort of thing. And like you said, those are all ways you could spend money, but those aren't ways to mass produce money. If we could get something like a manufacturing plant or something that actually creates, because it's not the tourism that it brings us a lot of people, and that could kind of be a good first introduction, but something has to be here to stay. And I think that we've got the land and resources. We've got the airport that's got plenty of runway space to bring in all kinds of equipment, all kinds of materials and needs. We've got the infrastructure set with the train stations to bring in supplies for people and manufacturing. And I think if we could bring some of those jobs in, where instead of small businesses that might hire 5 employees, we could have 1,000 or 2,000 employees hired out, then that would be a better benefit. But in that same note, I don't think that it's necessarily the city's job to create the jobs. It's just more the city's job to get out of the way so that the jobs can be allowed to be created.
There you go. All right, one last. We're going to run out of time here. Why should folks vote for you? Give us your best 15-second. Hey, here I am. Do my thing.
Well, you just got to ask yourself, are you better off 8 years ago, or are you better off now? Because Miss Coffey's been there for 8 years. She's going to be doing more of the same as she has been, and if you're better off, then by all means go that way. I'm planning things that are completely different from her. I've said specifically where I stand on the issues, and if you agree with me, then I'm your choice.
Thank you, Gordon. Justin?
I believe I'm a fresh take on the city council. I don't think that there's going to be any issues with, moving forward once I get in there. If I get elected, I think that it'll be a good fit and people will have made a good decision.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time. We wish you the best of luck. If you happen to move on in the primary, we'd love to have you come back and spend a little more time with us and get into more detail on your position. So,
sounds good.
Thanks much. Fox News underway.